Fast forward, any come out our channel so AGH Politics Avenue. On your podcast or train and make headline. The Jumre na iribi aksomo awaha. Any dim yahu rock simu se NF iri kanyam. So which must subscribe to the channel. Hit notification bell so share na Akuffo answer into enkebe. Any dim yahu rock simu young political highways. Eja dema onia enya aksem kutu akra. Na ningi na say Health Minister Honorable Akando. Stage press conference and the Zipline contract, I'm telling you, say, Papa no, any upgrade or Papa. What's the stance nowadays? Contract, or indemnity. But it is facing a very serious scrutiny. Awunya, enya sem kutuakra. Omo yushem na former Minister of Health say, and no maybe chia, I want to catch it here. Na omo ebejina emrano and at this point in time yen sembre yembong grand stimunum na onu ya hwe ne yeko ene de ba nyame shock say wajemre e wo hasi bomade so bit subscribe to the channel hit notification bell so share na Akuffo so answer into NKB edino GH Politics Avenue access waje mre e wo ha
Stories and government is engaged in ongoing discussions with drone delivery service Zipline regarding the future of its critical medical supply contracts. Health Minister Akando says despite public scrutiny and parliamentary pressure, a decision on whether to terminate this partnership has not yet been reached.
A contract was signed in 2018. It took effect in 2019. And as part of the contract, there were clauses known as take or pay clauses in the agreement. And the contract was sole sourced. Now, for every month, Ghana government was and is supposed to pay $88,000 per center per month. $88,000 per center per month. So if you do the computation, we are paying more than, because we have 6 centers, so we are paying a little over $500,000 every month for the services of the drones. What is more interesting, and I think everybody needs to know, is the fact that in the beginning of this contract, the idea was that we were not going to use government of Ghana money to pay, but upon review of the activities, what we have realized is that the hard-to-reach areas constitute only 12% of the activities, 12%, 1, 2, and emergency services is 4% of the activities. And it will interest you to know some of the items they fly. Items like condom, blood donor cards, not blood donor cards, mosquito nets, food and nutrition items, adhesive tapes, syringes and needles, education materials, among other things, textbooks, exercise books, uniforms, and a lot more. So these are some of the items they have been flying. And so when we came to office, we think that there must be value for money. And therefore, we are engaging them. So if you hear that we are not engaging Zipline, it's not true. Whether or not to cancel Zipline, we have not gotten to that point yet. We are still engaging them. When we get there, you will hear what decision we will take.
Let's go to energy-related matters now. The government of Ghana, under the African Development Bank, Climate Investment Fund, and Swiss State Secretariat for Economic Affairs funded program is offering free solar net meters and subsidies for households and SMEs to acquire new solar PV systems. The net metering is an electricity billing machine or mechanism that allows customers who generate their own energy through solar to export the excess power to the national grid and receive credit for it.
The net metering solar PV project under the Scaling Up Renewable Program STRIP aims to contribute 13.5% of renewable energy, excluding hydropower, to the energy mix. It is also to help achieve universal electricity access by 2030. The project is offering a free net meter and capital subsidy to households and SMEs who would want to purchase solar PV systems of capacities between 2 and 10 kilowatts peak. It also seeks to install 12,000 net meter solar PV units. Eunice Brechum is Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission.
It is the culmination of over a decade of persistence, collaboration, and steady progress towards making distributed renewable energy, especially rooftop solar PV, a practical and accessible option for every Ghanaian and business.
Funding is coming from the African Development Bank, Climate Investment Fund, and the Swiss State Secretariat for Economic Affairs. The country manager for the African Development Bank, Jerusalem Fasika, spoke about the program.
The importance of renewable energy cannot be overstated. Ghana, like many nations, recognizes that reducing dependence on fossil fuels and expanding the use of renewable energy sources are indispensable to achieving sustainable development.
According to the Deputy Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Richard Jan Mensah, the project is a testament of government's commitment to building a resilient energy future.
Today, our non-hydro renewable capacity stands at 280 megawatts, representing about 5% of the national mix. With optimism, we are looking forward to achieve 7% by 2027 through strategic rollout of STRIP.
To benefit from the net metering scheme, a facility must have a solar PV system with feedback capability, a grid connection, and compliance with the local distribution and net metering codes.
In more news tonight, the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations is urging government to fast-track the passage of the revised Disability Act. To ensure stronger accountability, the Federation is also calling for the National Council of Persons with Disability to be elevated to the status of an authority.
The Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations says since the Disability Act, Act 715, was passed in June 2006, its implementation has been slow. The Federation raised concerns about missing provisions in the current Act, including measures for disaster management. According to the Federation, gaps in the current law continue to hinder access to education, employment, healthcare, transport, and justice for persons with disabilities.
We continue to face inequalities. We want a strengthened Disability Act that will modernize Ghana legal framework, ensure clearer institutional responsibilities. We stand ready to partner with government, parliament, and all stakeholders to ensure that the revised act is passed and effectively implemented. And what we are saying is that the time to act is now. Ghana must not delay any further.
The Federation is further appealing for the National Council on Persons with Disability to be upgraded from a council to an authority to strengthen its mandate.
We are also calling for the elevation of the National Council on Persons with Disability. We raise it from the current council status to an authority. We believe that when it is able to secure authority status, it will have its own budget. As it says now, the council's budget is a component of the ministry's budget, and we are having a lot of difficulties with that.
The former president of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations, Yao Ofori Deborah, lauded the government for implementing free tertiary education for persons with disabilities.
I assure you that all the tertiary institution authorities have been brought into the picture. They have been authorized to operationalize that commitment from government. I believe from this academic year, they are going to enjoy.
GAB Health Insurance Company Limited, one of Ghana's leading private health insurers, is marking a major milestone as it celebrates 5 years of operations. The company has climaxed its anniversary activities under the theme 5 Years of Impact Shaping Tomorrow's Healthcare.
As part of the celebration, Gap Health Insurance brought together key stakeholders in Ghana's health and insurance sector to reflect on its 5-year journey and highlight progress made in strengthening private healthcare financing. The company showcased its achievement over the years, including innovations that have expanded access to quality healthcare for individuals and corporate clients. A major highlight of the ceremony was the unveiling of its new AI assistant named Ohima, designed to enhance customer experience and streamline service delivery. Managing Director Joseph Abene Yeboah shared the reason behind the AI assistant.
We have tried to use technology to help members. So, for example, if you want to know which hospitals are readily available within the vicinity that you are in, you don't have to call us. Go to Ahima, I want a facility close to Jowlu. Ohima will give you all the facilities, the contacts, the location. You can access service. What is my cover limit? Who are the dependents on my scheme? You can just go to Ohima. Ohima will give you all the information that you require.
Board member Doris Atifwa spoke about how aligned they are with your regulators.
When it comes to the capital ratios or the whatever it is that we have to put in place, we have it all set up, and our service providers are really very happy with us. We're doing so well. Sometimes we even pay our service providers in advance before we process their claims for payment. So we are very much on point.
Under its anniversary theme, the event emphasized the company's role in complementing national health care efforts and its vision for the future of private health insurance in Ghana.
In more news tonight, the Christmas season officially lit up at the Christianborg Stake Center, where the Miracle of Christmas, a spiritually uplifting program organized by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, brought together church members and visitors for an evening of music, reflection and celebration. It was a night filled with warmth and reverence as families gathered under a beautifully decorated setting to commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ.
The annual Miracle of Christmas event featured inspiring hymns, scripture readings, and a symbolic portrayal of Mary and the infant Jesus, reminding the congregation of the true meaning behind the season. First Counselor in the Africa West Area Presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Elder Adeyinka Ojediran, addressed the gathering with a message centered on faith, gratitude, and the spirit of giving.
As the world rejoices to celebrate his birth, my message today is a reminder.
The president of the National Association of Graduate Teachers in Agrat, Angel Kabonu, says this year's WASI performance highlights the need for a comprehensive review of the country's education system.
The system we are running, is it beneficial to our children? Is it aiding proper teaching and learning? Are we producing students who understand what they have studied to become worthwhile citizens of our society? Education should be reviewed regularly. Education is like life. You review life so as to enhance your wherewithal for the betterment of tomorrow.
He urged politicians to stay away from the day-to-day management of education and allow professionals to take charge.
Please, politicians should hands off education and allow professionals to run education in this country. The sole financiers of education is the taxpayer. The politicians are just the conduit through which the money passes.
Responding to the concerns, Press Secretary to the Minister of Education, Hashimin Mohammed, assured the public that the government is committed to addressing the situation.
Reverting the curriculum to the normal WAEC curriculum system, where we can have students taking the exams at the same time other West African countries are taking the exams. So all these are enforcement mechanisms we are putting in place to ensure that the results that our students, our learners are producing are credible enough to compete globally.
Hashimin Mohammed revealed that the Ministry of Education will soon roll out a new strategy aimed at tackling the rising failure rates.
We want to end the double track by 2027, and we have initiated measures to end it. Already about 100 double track schools have been reverted into single track. And going forward in 2026, we want to improve infrastructure across board and then also improve the training of teachers.
Right, so let's turn our attention to the Office of the President now, because the President has forwarded some petitions to the Chief Justice. Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni is set to determine whether or not there is a prima facie case against Special Prosecutor Kisie Jabing, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, and her two deputies, after President John Mahama forwarded petitions for their removal to him. President Mahama, in accordance with Article 146 of the Constitution, forwarded the petitions to the Chief Justice for examination. The Office of the President received a total of 10 petitions. Now, according to TV3 sources, 7 of the petitions were filed by private citizens seeking the removal of the Electoral Commission chairperson and her deputies. The remaining 3 petitions seek the removal of Special Prosecutor Kisie Jabing, alleging various misconducts by the heads of these 2 institutions. And from all indications, it looks as though that the Chief Justice will be very busy, especially between now and the end of the year, because these petitions have actually reached his desk based on information we are getting from our sources. And it also gives an indication what we should be looking forward to. But let me take you through the specific text of the act that set up the Special Prosecutor's Office, and then we can all be on the same page as we follow what exactly is expected to happen. So we know that the Special Prosecutors Act 2017, Act 959, is what set up that office, and it clearly outlines what should happen in case there is the need to remove the Special Prosecutor. It says from Part 15 that the Special Prosecutor shall not be removed from office except for 1. Stated misbehavior or incompetence, B, incapacity to perform the functions of the office by reason of infirmity of body or mind, and 3, willful violation of the office oath, of official oath, or oath of secrecy. And then, or if there is a conduct which brings or is likely to bring the office of the Special Prosecutor into disrepute or ridicule or contempt, or is prejudicial or inimical to the economy or security of the state. That is one of the stated grounds on which the OSP can be removed. Now, who can ask for the Special Prosecutor to be removed? It clearly states, Section 15.2 says that a person who seeks to remove the Special Prosecutor from office shall submit a petition to the President. And like we just indicated, the President has received 10 petitions, 7 for EC, 3 for the Special Prosecutor. And the third part goes on to say, where the President receives a petition for the removal of the Special Prosecutor, the President shall, mind you, the word there is shall, within 7 days, refer the petition to the Chief Justice, who shall, within 30 days, determine whether there is a prima facie case. So those 2 numbers should be in your mind. 7 days when the President receives it, between 7 days, he must forward it to the Chief Justice. And then within 30 days of receiving it from the President, the Chief Justice needs to immediately start to find out whether there is a basis for their removal. Now, 4, where the Chief Justice determines that there is a prima facie case, or there is actually a true basis for the removal, then the Chief Justice shall, within 14 days, set up a committee consisting of 1, a person who is a justice of the Supreme Court, a lawyer of at least 15 years standing at the bar, and 1 other person with expertise in investigations. Now, this committee that the Chief Justice will set up is the committee that will now investigate to establish whether or not there is a case, and then submit the findings to the Chief Justice. It goes on to say that the committee shall, within 90 days, investigate the matter and make its recommendation to the President through the Chief Justice. And this Part 6 you need to pay particular attention to, because it says the President shall act in accordance with the recommendations of the committee. So whatever findings that this committee comes up with, the President is mandated to implement the recommendations of what is found out. So we'll just wait to see. This festive period is going to be really edgy for a number of people. Two of them we know, the Chief Justice and the EC Chair. I beg your pardon, the EC Chair and also the Special Prosecutor. These two individuals are likely to have to know what their end will be if this investigation is completed. We'll keep you posted in subsequent bulletins. Back to you, Portia.
Thank you so much, Martin. Let's continue with the rest of our story.
We ain't Samahoro to be called so our channel so. I'm not so Jim Reda Sene. Say Obadiano di Adumbi Eduminia. Insensium.